Hey everyone, I'm Hannah Faye. Thanks for stopping by. I was looking at my computer the other day and I was like, hey, I don't have a back fan. Why don't I have a back fan? I have 3 front fans and my temperatures are fine. That's not an issue. But I was like, I should really have an outtake fan. I've got 3 intake fans. My case has great airflow, but I just felt like it needed a outtake fan, if for no reason other than aesthetically. So I found an old one that I had lying around and I was like, okay, perfect. It's just white. It's not fancy RGB, but it does have white lights, so it's something. I had a free CHA fan 2 plug. So the nice thing about this little plug is that it has 4 pins, but this fan only had 3 pins. But it fits in there just fine, so you can put a 3 or a 4 pin connector in there. I'm wrapping the cord around as much as possible just so I can keep it out of the way as best as possible. Then I tried using these screws and then I was like, no, these screws are way too small. So then I found bigger screws and those screws work just fine. So a pretty simple install. Here's what it looks like in the computer. And I realized that I installed these fans backwards. I need exhaust fans, so I had to turn these around. How to test if you're unsure which way is in and which way is out is use a lighter. And if it gets pulled towards the PC, then that's pulling air in. And if it's continuously getting blown out like this one, then the fan is blowing air out. So that was that. That was pretty easy install. But then I was like, oh yeah, my son, his computer is completely disfigured right now because I started to work on his computer and then ran into an issue, but I solved it today because I finally went to the store. So yeah, this is what happened. This fan was in the back of my son's computer, but then it started making this really weird noise. And I was like, oh, I'll just replace it. No problem. I have this extra fan. It's the exact same fan as the one that I just put in my computer. I had 2 of them. The issue when I went to replace the fan was that this turned out to be the master fan, and his 2 fans in the very front of the computer were slave fans. So they relied on the connectors that this fan has. So the issue was that the replacement fan does not have those same connectors that are needed. For a while there, I still had that old fan installed, but just sitting on top of the computer so that it could run the front fans, and if I sat it upright, it didn't make the weird noise. So that was my temporary solution. I had his computer completely disassembled. I had the back panel off, so today I fixed it. I finally went to the store and bought some 3-in-1 motor oil. This is really good lubricant for fans because it's designed for moving parts. I'm just gonna apply a little bit to the fan. Oh, but when I do that, I'm gonna make sure that I'm not like in view of the camera. I'm gonna make sure that I'm doing it like close to my face and stuff so that you guys have absolutely no idea where I'm putting it or anything like that. Yeah, I did a great job here. But basically, I'm putting it on like the center bearing. And then why didn't I thought that I was doing this on camera. Like, how could I be so far off? Anyway, I did that, and then I spun the fans around a few times to kind of distribute the oil, and it seemed to work pretty good. This is not by any means a fix to your fan. If your fan starts to make noise, it's probably going. This is going to extend the life of it, but like your fan's not going to go forever. It'll probably start making that noise again at some point, but for now, it's good. So after finally getting the correct cables through, it's time to screw in the fan, and then I had to connect it to the back wires. Each of the header fans had a 4-pin connector, a female and a male. So they connected to each other, and then they needed to connect to the master fan as well because they rely on the master fan for power, because the master fan cable, is the only one that has a power cable connection, and that's what this longer one is. So that one gets directly connected to the power supply unit, just like that. And then I'm going to try to tuck these away a little more. It's just, these cables are so big, it's a nuisance really. The fan works great now. It's not making that weird rattly noise. I was on a fan kick today for some reason. So yeah, this is my video about fans. I hope that it was educational and entertaining. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!